Welcome to RIP News. Today, June 6, 2025, we bring sad news as we mourn the loss of 6 American legends who passed away in the last 24 hours. In this episode, we pay tribute to their incredible legacies. Kindly like, support, and subscribe to RIP News for more updates. Walter Brueggemann. What if one scholar's ideas could challenge everything you thought about faith, power, and justice? Meet Walter Brueggemann, a groundbreaking American theologian, an Old Testament scholar, whose bold vision shook up the church and beyond. Born in Tilden, Nebraska, in 1933, the son of a German evangelical synod minister, Brueggemann's passion for scripture started early. He earned degrees from Elmhurst College and Eden Theological Seminary, fueling a journey that would redefine biblical thought. His academic path blazed through Eden Theological Seminary, where he taught and served as dean from 1961 to 1986. Then, as the William Marcellus McPheeters Professor at Columbia Theological Seminary, he inspired generations until retiring in the early 2000s. With over 58 books and hundreds of articles, his influence stretched worldwide, and for good reason. Brueggemann's genius lay in his prophetic imagination. He believed the Hebrew prophets offered a radical call, one the church should echo, to resist the grip of consumerism, militarism, and nationalism. His counter-narrative urged believers to rethink power and purpose. But that wasn't all. He pioneered a fresh approach, blending literary flair and social insight to unpack the Bible. From commentaries on Genesis, Exodus, and Psalms to his focus on lament, he revealed how ancient texts still speak to today's struggles. Then came a shocking shift. Once a supporter of modern-day Israel, Brueggemann later called out what he saw as a toxic ideology, tied to ancient promises. Reports claim he stood for justice for Palestinians, insisting it wasn't anti-Semitic to challenge oppression. His stance sparked debate, drawing eyes and dividing minds. But that wasn't the whole story. He brought his ideas to life in Bill Moyer's PBS series on Genesis and Living the Questions DVDs, captivating audiences. For over 40 years, he co-edited Journal for Preachers, stepping back to editor emeritus in 2022. And what happened next would shock everyone. After retiring, Brueggemann settled in Traverse City, Michigan, continuing his legacy until his passing on June 5, 2025, at 92. The theological world felt the loss deeply. Jason Constantine. What drove a Hollywood visionary to turn a short concept into a billion-dollar horror empire? Jason Constantine, the brilliant co-president of Lionsgate Motion Picture Group, reshaped cinema with his daring bets on Saw, The Expendables, and more, until his courageous fight against brain cancer ended at age 55. His story is one of passion, bold moves, and a legacy that still echoes through Hollywood. From a young age, Constantine's love for film burned bright. He kicked off his career as a director of acquisitions at Trimark Pictures, the company that became Lionsgate, armed with a BA from Princeton and an MFA from Loyola Marymount. He even wrote and directed his own short films. His drama Ashes snagged a Producers Guild of America award for Best Student Short, proving his knack for spotting and creating hits early on. Then came a game changer. After watching a brief concept short, Constantine pushed Lionsgate to grab Saw, a gritty horror idea from James Wan and Lee Wannell. His belief paid off big. The franchise exploded, racking up over $1 billion worldwide across 10 films. He stood by every twisted chapter, even producing Saw X in 2023, cementing his mark on horror history. But that wasn't the whole story. Constantine also fueled action legends. He brought The Expendables to life, rallying icons like Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, and Arnold Schwarzenegger for an explosive ride. The series packed a punch. Though recent buzz suggests challenges, fans and critics panned Expend 4 balls for missing the old magic. Still, Constantine's vision for high-octane thrills kept viewers hooked through the chaos. His reach stretched beyond gore and guns. He helped deliver Crash, the Best Picture Oscar winner, and Precious, which nabbed 2 Oscars from 5 nods. Then there's Knives Out, Rian Johnson's slick, Oscar-nominated mystery that hauled in $312 million globally. Constantine's eye for diverse, daring projects showed he could conquer any genre. A fearless spirit defined him. At Lionsgate for over 25 years, his creative energy and kindness touched everyone, colleagues adored him, and his Christmas model train village lit up his neighborhood, spreading joy far and wide. But behind the scenes, he faced a tougher battle, fighting brain cancer with the same grit he brought to the studio. And what happened next would shock everyone. On June 3, 2025, Jason Constantine passed away at his Los Angeles home, just 55 years old. Khadiyah, K.D. Lewis. What happens when a vibrant reality star, known for her fiery spirit and bold moves, leaves us far too early? Khadiyah, K.D. Lewis, a standout from Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, passed away at just 44, leaving fans and family reeling. Her story is one of ambition, unforgettable moments, and a legacy cut short. Here's what you need to know. KD burst onto the scene in Season 3 of Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, starting as rapper Young Jock's real estate agent and personal assistant. Sparks flew, and soon she was his girlfriend, stepping into the spotlight as a supporting cast member in Season 4. Her unapologetic vibe and sharp wit made her a fan favorite, carving out a unique space in a chaotic reality TV world. One moment sealed her place in the show's history. During a heated exchange, KD delivered the now iconic line, "I absolutely am, every night." The quip was bold, confident, and pure KD. Fans still quote it today, a testament to her knack for stealing the scene. But that wasn't the whole story. Beyond the drama, KD was a force. On Instagram, with 147K followers, she called herself an entrepreneur, speaker, consultant, accountant, and branding ambassador. She juggled roles as a real estate agent, business consultant, and tax expert, proving her hustle went way beyond the cameras. Her drive was relentless, and she built a brand that inspired many. What set KD apart was her ambition. She didn't just ride the reality TV wave, she channeled it into diverse ventures, from property deals to consulting gigs. Her versatility showed a woman determined to succeed, blending business savvy with a larger-than-life personality. And what happened next would shock everyone. On May 30, 2025, KD's life ended at 44. Her brother, Jamal J. Lewis, confirmed the heartbreaking news, with family sharing their grief in a statement to the Shade Room, calling the loss extremely emotionally devastating. No cause of death has been revealed, leaving fans buzzing with questions and sadness. Maria Lorena Arguello. What happens when a bright star vanishes without warning? Maria Lorena Arguello, a 28-year-old who lit up both the medical world and the pageant stage, left everyone stunned when her life ended abruptly. But who was this remarkable woman, and why is her passing shrouded in mystery? Maria Lorena wasn't just another face in the crowd. At 28, she was a freshly minted medical surgeon, graduating from the University of Las Americas in June 2024, with dreams of saving lives. But she also had a flair for the spotlight, stepping onto the Miss Universe Ecuador 2024 stage as a semifinalist representing Quito. Her blend of intellect and charm made her unforgettable. And yet, her story was just beginning. For Maria, the pageant wasn't just about glamour. It was her first time competing, and she carried Quito's pride with grace, captivating everyone with her poise. Friends like Maria Jose Cordova, who competed alongside her, said it wasn't just a contest, it forged bonds that felt like family. But there was so much more to her than sequins and sashes. Beyond the stage, Maria poured her heart into helping others. As a volunteer with the Reina de Quito Foundation, she worked tirelessly for those in need, proving her beauty went far deeper than the surface. Just weeks before her passing, she celebrated her 28th birthday, surrounded by loved ones, unaware of the tragedy that loomed. Then, on June 1, 2025, everything changed. The Concurso Nazionale de Bellezza announced Maria Lorena's sudden passing, leaving fans and friends reeling. No cause was shared, no details given, just a void where her vibrant presence once stood. The news hit like a shockwave, and whispers began to swirl. But what really happened? Edgar Lungu. Was Edgar Lungu a hero of Zambia's progress, or a leader tangled in controversy? Let's dive into the wild story of a man who rose from humble beginnings to the presidency, only to face economic turmoil, corruption claims, and a dramatic exit. Buckle up, this journey's full of twists. Edgar Lungu's climb began in 2011 as an MLA, quickly becoming Minister of Defense and Justice under President Michael Sata. When Sata passed in 2014, Lungu seized the spotlight, winning a nail-biting 2015 by-election against Hakainde Hichilema to finish Sata's term. Voter turnout was low, but the stage was set for a bigger battle. In 2016, Lungu clinched a full term, again edging out Hichilema in a razor-thin race. The opposition cried foul, but the Constitutional Court upheld the win. Lungu pushed big road projects and leaned on Chinese investment, yet Zambia's economy stumbled. High unemployment and a 2020 debt default painted a grim picture. But that wasn't the whole story. Rumors swirled about corruption. Reports claim a 2019 memo tied Lungu to shady land deals in Eswatini, with whispers of bribes from construction contracts. Nothing's proven, but the buzz grew louder. Fast forward to 2021, Hichilema crushed Lungu in a landslide, ending his reign. Lungu retired, then made a bold 2023 comeback, only for a court to block him in 2024, ruling he'd served his 2 terms. Sadly, Lungu's tale ended in June 2025, passing in Pretoria from surgery complications at 68. Did scandals overshadow his infrastructure wins? What's his true legacy? Drop your thoughts below and let's unpack this together. Enzo Staiola. Ever wonder why a kid who stole the show in one of cinema's greatest films vanished from the spotlight? Enzo Staiola, the heart of bicycle thieves, did just that. At just 8 years old, he became an icon of Italian neorealism, only to walk away from fame for a life few expected. Here's the story of a boy who captured the world's heart, and then chose a different path. Picture a young boy walking home from school in Rome, unaware he's being followed. That's how it started for Enzo Staiola in 1948. Director Vittorio De Sica, already a star, spotted him on the street and trailed him in a car, convinced he'd found the perfect Bruno Ricci for bicycle thieves. Despite his parents' doubts, De Sica's persistence paid off. Enzo landed the role without an audition, and what happened next would etch his name in film history. Bicycle Thieves wasn't just a movie, it was a raw, emotional snapshot of post-war Italy. Enzo, a non-actor with big, expressive eyes, played Bruno, the son of a desperate father searching for a stolen bike. His natural performance, full of heart and vulnerability, made audiences weep. The film won an Oscar, and became a cornerstone of neorealism, with Enzo as its soul. But that wasn't the whole story. At 14, Enzo crossed the Atlantic for Hollywood, starring in The Barefoot Contessa alongside Humphrey Bogart and Ava Gardner. He appeared in other films too, like Volcano and A Tale of Five Women, showing his range. Yet, despite these roles, fame didn't pull him in. And what happened next would shock everyone who expected him to chase stardom. Instead of red carpets, Enzo chose classrooms and offices. He became a mathematics teacher and later a land registry clerk in Rome, living far from the glitz of cinema. This wasn't a fall from grace, but a deliberate choice. After a brief return in 1977 for a cameo in the Pajama Girl case, he stayed out of the public eye, content with a simpler life. Enzo's reserved nature kept him grounded. Unlike many child stars, he avoided scandal and the pitfalls of fame. He lived quietly in Rome, letting his childhood performances speak for themselves. Fans and filmmakers never forgot Bruno's soulful gaze, but Enzo seemed happy to move on. When Enzo passed away on June 4, 2025, at 85, tributes flooded in.